Good morning, Mr. Chairman. So I'm looking at number 5 on the list, which would be proposed House Bill 5844, an application or an act requiring housing authorities to provide voter registration applications to prospective tenants. And I'm just wondering, has there been a real call to this committee? This is my first time on this committee, but has there been a real call to have voter registration applications handed out at housing authorities? It's never been brought to my attention as a need.
That's a great question, and I'm glad that you bring it forth. There's actually been a great request for voting applications to be made available to folks at any communal spaces. And our goal with this particular bill is to allow these voting opportunities for individuals in many of the housing authorities throughout the state. I think it's just another opportunity to provide individuals to be a part of the process, if you would. But again, it's for subject matter public hearing, and I think we'll hear from the community as to why this is an important opportunity for folks to register, to vote.
Thank you for that response. I know when I served as ranking member of General, Elections Administration Committee there, I didn't hear the need then, and I'm concerned that we're reaching out to certain areas and avoiding perhaps other areas. I know there was talk about handing them out in the motor vehicle department in the past. I know they're available obviously at our town clerk's office and all our town halls. So I'm anxious to have people vote. I'm anxious to have people register, but I'm concerned about the process. So I would be interested in at least hearing what's going to happen at the public hearing and what they say and why there's a need and what the safeguards would be to make sure that the application process is actually followed in a way that would not steer one person one way or the other.
I think I hear what you're saying, but I'm not really clear on what the concern is. I know now voting applications to register to vote, are pretty much available anyway. I can use my church as an example. A part of our church's membership application is to ensure that community members are engaged in the community on important issues. And it is not the role of, using the example, of the church to sway anyone's vote to any particular party. But the main focus is to really ensure that we're providing opportunities for residents, members, to be a part of the overall process. But I'd love to engage further your concerns and really figuring out how do we come to a place where we appreciate all opportunities. And I'm not suggesting that you don't appreciate, but to really talk through when you think of voter suppression, you think of all of what's going on throughout our country. How can we make it even easier, if you would, for residents to have the opportunity to register to vote? But I'd love to hear from the community, likewise with you, I'm hearing, and really having a conversation with GAE committee. Maybe this should be referred to them, but we can really discuss that further down the line. But I think it's important that we hear from the community.
I guess my concern would be just what you said about swaying a person one way or the other. You know, you come to my church, I think you should be a Republican. You come to your church, maybe you should be a Democrat.
We actually have some Republicans in my church.
And we have some Democrats in mine. But, you know, my concern is, hey, listen, you have to register Republican or you have to register Democrat. That's the concern.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I would welcome the public hearing to hear those answers and to make sure that somebody has a free choice and a clear choice as to how he or she wishes to actually register. The only other comment I have on the agenda is it looks like items 1, 6, and 7 are similar in nature, and I would just, again, being new to the committee, would hope that those types of matters which are similar in nature would be held at one public hearing so we could address them all at one time.
Yes, sir.